Well, hello there, FitFam. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I am taking you through one of my leg and glute workouts. So I do 2 heavy leg and glute days per week, and one is hamstring and glute focused, which is usually at the end of the week. And then on Monday, the hardest workout of the week, which is what I'm taking you through today, is quads and glutes. So we're focusing on the front of our legs and also popping that peach. So both of my heavy leg days are very challenging, but I find this Monday workout that I always make sure I do on Monday. I just hit the start of the week, get the hardest workout out of the way. And it's the hardest because we are also doing squats this day, as well as, lunges, hip thrusts, all that good stuff. But I find doing heavy squats is just like literally the hardest exercise of all, but it is so beneficial. And even though it's hard, I still actually do enjoy it. I like that it is a challenge. So you might be wondering, how many times per week should you focus on your booty and legs? Well, I definitely think you should be doing lower body at least 2 times per week. This is because lower body is also a full body workout, because even though you're focusing on your legs and glutes, you're still working your arms, your back, your shoulders, and your core, because it requires so much full body strength. If you really want your legs and booty to develop, you want to be hitting them with a good amount of frequency. And I'd say if you're really keen to really pop those glutes, then you can even throw in a 3rd booty isolation day. And that's actually what I do. I have my 2 heavy leg and glute days, and then in the middle of the week, I have a 3rd day that's kind of more high rep and not so heavy weight, more just kind of with dumbbells. And so I can focus on really kind of isolating the glutes and hitting them a little bit extra. All right, so follow along with me. Let's get into this workout. If you enjoy it, make sure to give it a like and subscribe so you don't miss any more good stuff coming your way. Let's go to the gym. All right, fam, to get started with this lower body workout, as always, we want to just do some quick glute activation. So just get the muscles engaged, warm up your joints so you are going to be ready to go to lift some heavy weight. So I'm just doing some basic moves, some steps side to side, some zigzag steps back and forth, walking out at a 45-degree angle, and then going into some straight kickbacks as well as some lateral kicks, so where you kick your leg out to the side, and finishing off with some lying glute bridges. So I recommend doing these with a fabric resistance band because it really adds a nice amount of resistance to warm up those muscles. But you could do these exercises body weight too, but I just figure you really should have a band. So if you don't have one yet, I will link a recommendation in the description below. They're only about $10 on Amazon. So now let's get into our working sets. Okay, so we are starting off with the dreaded barbell back squats, the hardest exercise of all in my opinion, but it is still really fun because it just feels so freaking good. You feel so strong when you do these. And if you're a beginner, you can always get started with this exercise with just the bar, and over time you'll be able to add plates on the side. Just the bar alone is really not so hard, and I strongly encourage you to just get going with this exercise because it is one of the lifts that is going to transform your entire body, not just your legs and glutes, although of course it's really going to work that area. It's also going to give you insane abs, arms, shoulders, and back. So hop on that bar ASAP, get used to the form, and slowly but surely you can increase your weight. So the way I like to get started is placing the bar just on top of the back of my shoulders, your rear delts, and then squeezing my shoulder blades together. And then the very first thing I'm doing is hinging back at my hips. So a tiny hinge backwards with your hips, and then you're bending your knees and sticking that butt back, putting your weight into your heels. You're bending down as though you're going to sit into a chair. And I like to lean my chest forward a little tiny bit. So hinging back at your hips first and foremost, bending at the knees and sinking your booty like it's going to be sitting into a chair, putting the weight in your heels, and then pushing through your heels to go back up to the top. And I usually do anywhere between 8 to 10 reps for 3 sets for these barbell back squats. All right, moving on to our next big compound movement, we are going to be doing barbell hip thrusts. And I was going for heavy thrusts today. So I have 2 25s on each side plus one little 10 pound. So this was pretty challenging for me. But remember, this is the exercise that you're going to be able to do more weight than any other, because it is not such a huge range of motion, and also because it's really, really working your glutes, and your glutes are your biggest muscle in your entire body. And if you want to grow big, beautiful glutes, you need to be overloading them with significant resistance. So don't be afraid to challenge yourself with the weight. Obviously, when you're just getting started, you want to work on form and, not go too crazy to get used to it. But pretty quickly, I want you to be increasing the weight fast, and you will surprise yourself how quickly you are able to lift more weight than you thought you could. So of course, you want to have some sort of cushion. Otherwise, the bar is going to dig into your hip bones, which would be horrible. So I have a barbell pad. Your gym should have one. If they don't, I would recommend buying one off of Amazon. It's just a couple dollars again. Otherwise, you can get a yoga mat and fold that up a bunch of times. And I also put my resistance band on over top just above my knees to get some extra resistance for this exercise. And then keeping my chin tucked, eyes looking straight ahead at the wall, I'm driving through my heels, driving from the hips, thrusting my glutes all the way up as high as I can and squeezing at the top. And then if I have any gas left in the tank, sometimes I just like to bust out a few little pulses. So after I'm done my actual full reps, I just do a few quick little mini pulses at the top where I'm just kind of like slightly thrusting my hips. And that just like really, really burns out my glutes. And so usually for hip thrusts, I'm going anywhere from 8 to 12 reps for 3 sets. All right, next up, we are doing some dumbbell walking lunges, and it's always so hard to get good footage of this since I am moving around. But you're taking a pair of dumbbells and you're bringing your front leg out in front of you at a good 90 degrees and bringing that back leg down all the way to the ground. I actually like to touch my knee to the ground so I know I'm doing a full range of motion. So pretty simple, but highly effective. And you're gonna do anywhere from 12 to 15 reps per leg for 3 sets. All right, on to a quad demolishing squat variation. I had not done this variation for a very long time, which is a heel elevated goblet squat. So you can either take one heavy dumbbell and hold it directly in front of your chest. Personally, I always find that a little bit uncomfortable though, so I usually do just take 2 dumbbells and hold one in each hand right above my shoulders. I just prefer that. And then even if you do this variation without the heel elevation, so long as you keep your torso upright, it's going to be really quad focus. That's kind of the difference. The more upright your torso is, the more you're going to feel it in your quads, and the more that you lean forward with your torso, the more you're going to feel it in your hamstrings. So it just depends what you're trying to target. But of course, this was a quad day, and I've been really trying to isolate them more. I really want them to grow and develop more. So using the heel elevation just allows you to hit that area more. And then you're simply squatting down as low as you can, and you can get really good depth since you do have that extra elevation, so you can do more range of motion. And I did 12 to 15 reps for 3 sets, and my quads were absolutely burning by the end. Okay, next up, we are doing an exercise that I only recently discovered, and I'm absolutely obsessed. It is so freaking good for isolating glutes, and I am so happy that I discovered it. So it is a glute medius kickback. So of course, glute kickbacks have been around for a long time, which is where you kick your leg back straight behind you. And I've always kind of had mixed feelings about a regular glute kickback. I always kind of feel like I can't really feel it in my glutes, and I've never really enjoyed it that much, so I don't actually really do it. But once I found this variation, it works so much better for me. So the difference is you're kicking out at a 30 degree to 45 degree angle behind you. So you're not kicking straight out behind you, you're kicking out a little bit to the side. And this slight tweak, personally for me, has made all the difference. I feel it so well in my glutes, and I just love the burn that I get. So you don't want to go too heavy with this exercise because it is really, really isolating. I'm only doing 30 pounds. I recommend, if you're a complete beginner, somewhere sticking with maybe like 10 to 20 pounds. And then if you're up for a little bit more of a challenge, you can move up to about 30-ish pounds as well. And you want to go for higher reps here. So at least 12 reps, and I'd say even closer to 15. I did 3 sets. The of 15 reps for this exercise on each leg, of course. Okay, and the very last exercise for this intense quad and glute day is going to just be some quad extensions. So nothing complicated. This isn't really a very difficult exercise since it is very isolating, but it is so effective for burning those quads. So I love throwing it at the end of a quad day. And I'm actually doing it as a drop set, which is something that I only recently started doing, and I really, really enjoy it, which is where I start off with a heavier weight and go for pretty much as many reps as I can, which is probably somewhere between 8 to 12 reps. And then I drop the pin, I put it to the next lightest weight, and then I do as many more reps as I can, which is maybe like 3 to 5 more reps. And then my quads are literally just on fire and I can't possibly do any more. And then I just rest for about 60 seconds and do it all over again. So just demolishing the quads at the very end of this workout for 3 sets. All right, Fit Fam, thank you so much for checking out this workout. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope it gave you some good ideas of how to pop your peach and build your legs. Don't forget, I have free meal plans and workouts that you can follow along with and download on my website. The link is in the description box below. Thank you so much for checking this video out, and I'll see you in the next one.